What's going on YouTube? It's the Dark Lord Destro. I'm making another video. I'm not going to go on for a long period of time. Of course, you never know. I just ramble on. You know, basically, all I want to do talk about a few things. First and foremost is my website here, Lord Destro's All Pro Football 2K8 NFL rosters. Of course, this screen looks the same, but I've done some revamping. I don't have any skills or knowledge of web designing. And so I've been experimenting a little bit, but I encourage you to take a look at it because this is the same. But let's go to my classic teams here. And like I said, I'm not really knowledgeable on web design, so it's pretty much I did a little something last night. And what I did was before I had the team just all listed down in two sides of the screen. But I wanted to, give it just a fresher look. I wanted to make it more organized. So what I've done was I found a website that has all the NFL logos. And what I did was I designed these little bubbles here, little designs here, little menus, stuff like that there. But what I did was I organized it to where it's per team. If you look at it, it's like conference or divisions. And then, of course, under the logo, you have the years that the team that I made. So you can select any of these years. As you can see, it highlights any year that that you want to download, and you can download these teams. You scroll down a little bit more. As you can see, some of them I haven't made a year on it yet. I just haven't made teams for them. Right now, I'm in the process. I just got done finishing the 1975 Cardinals and the 1999 Tennessee Titans. Now I'm working on the 2012 Houston Texans. I want to at least have one team on their 1 year team on the team. So Texans, I'm doing 2012. It was a 10-year anniversary. They went 12-4 that year, I believe, or 14. I can't remember. I still need to do one for Chargers. And I might do that Super Bowl year, the 94 Chargers. I wouldn't mind doing the Charger team back in the day. The only problem is there's something wrong with this game to where if you try to make a Dan Phelps, the game will freeze on you. Because Phelps, for some reason, if you pick a player with Phelps as your last name, the game's going to freeze. That's just the way it is. So, like I said, it's a little something I'm doing. It's trying to mix it up a little bit. Make it a little organized. I'm still working on it, so just bear with me. Something else too. Like I said, I'm just learning this thing, doing a little something. It's pretty much tells you a little bit about, where I'm from, this and that. And this is the page here to where I'm going to leave notes as to what's going on. Now this part right here, I'm going to highlight it for you. I might change that background because it's kind of hard to see. But basically, and I'll read it to you. It says, all the teams created have 20 created players on them. However, there are some teams that have more than 20 players, Some teams have 20 created players plus the legends that are already in the game. Then there are some that have 20 created players, legends, and some reprogrammed generic players as well. For example, you might see a reprogrammed generic player named Tony Owens. In reality, he's Terrell Owens. He has the same skill sets, likenesses, and equipment as Terrell Owens, but has a different first name. Yeah, it may be corny. However, this is the only way to add more players to your roster and still put a team online. You can change the position, equipment, height, weight, and even skin color for any legend and generic player. However, if you alter the names of any generic or legend player whatsoever, your Xbox will freeze on you when you go online. If you look at the majority of all my teams, like I said, I have 20, but I do a little trickery, I just made the 99 Titans, and I've got, your 3 guys that are already in the game, 3 legends, plus your 20 credit guys, and 9 reprogrammed generics. So I'll take, a guy generic who's let's say he's a quarterback, but then I need him to be on offensive line. I'll do those little trickery things, and I do that because the first name might be different, but that last name's the same. I like to have that, try to get as close to the NFL as possible. So I was like, you know what? Let's do more than just the 20 created guys. And then plus your guys in the game. Let's do the whole shebang. Like I said before, my other videos in my 2005 Redskins, I've got 42 Out of 42 roster spots, 40 of them are either created or altered. And I do that to try to replicate the NFL, that's all. Something else I want to show you. Like I said, a little something, something, like I said, I'm not that good at designing stuff. I just, go along with it. But yeah, this is a little something to give back to the community about, just trying to, people who don't want to play Madden like myself. I don't like the way Madden plays. And so this is a way to where, let's continue to keep playing this game. This game, in 3 weeks will be 7 years old. But let's continue it on. Obviously, the quick match is still up, so there's no excuse. And this will lead me to my next thing, is that last week I called the Sim Standard Radio Show. And I don't know if y'all listen to the Sim Standard Radio Show every Thursday night starting at 8 p.m. But I pretty much said that people say, well, we missed 2K. Like, what I'm getting at here is I was on Operation Sports and they was complaining about Madden having exclusive license and this and that, how they so-called love all pro football and this and that and the third. My issue is this. If you love all pro football so much, how come you're not playing it? If this game is so great and so nice, how come you're not playing it? Of course, the poor excuse I keep hearing, well, the game's 7 years old and this and that. Well, what's that got to do with anything? A great game's a great game. I've got emulators on my computer right here to where I can just play old Sega Dreamcast or arcade games or Sega Genesis or old school Nintendo games. If a game's a good game, you'll play it regardless of what system it is and what kind of graphics it has. It doesn't matter. So that's a poor excuse. But I just think a lot of guys in the community are just all talk. Because if you were all about all pro football, you'll be making your own websites, or you'll be downloading, your rosters from either me or ratesports.com. You would be supporting this community. Why there's only like 20, 30 people playing this game? To where I go on operatorsports.com, read the forums, and everybody and their mothers, oh, we love all pro. But yet you spend $65 on Madden every year. And like I said on the radio show, it doesn't make any sense. That's like you taking a girl out, going taking her out to dinner, getting, wine, getting steak and lobster and all that, going to the movies afterwards, and knowing you're not going to get any play, knowing she's not going to break you off any later on that night, but you still continuing to spend that money on her. And nothing's going to come out of it except for a handshake and maybe a hug. So that's basically what you're doing playing Madden, or spending money on Madden. Oh, I love All Pro 2K8, and I hate Madden, but here I am playing it. Why? Oh, because it has updated rosters. Okay. Well, granted, All Pro can't change logo and stuff like that, but hey, you know what? It's the next best thing. We're doing the best we can to extend the life of this game. I'm not the only one who does it. But not to brag, but I think I'm the only one who does it in the detail that I do it in. And I'm going to teach anyone who's interested. But it's I just find it crazy that people say they don't like Madden, but yet they spend $65 every year. Oh, I love All Pro, but I don't see 3/4 of you dudes online. And I'm saying we're looking for players all the time. TJ Speaks has a league, Casual Dog Gamers. You can hook up with him. His gamer tag is TJ Speaks. Me, I just make rosters. I just do it for fun. I go by ProFootballReference.com, and I'll show you what I do here when it comes to ProFootballReference.com. Now, a good example here is that, bear with me here a second. Let's take 2012 Houston Texans, for example. Let's look at their roster. Okay, it's the starting lineup right here. Okay, the way I make my teams is, if you have a star right here only, that means you made the Pro Bowl. You're a silver. If you got a star and a plus sign, that means you're a first team All-Pro. I make you a gold. Anyone else is a bronze. Now, of course, you might have a bad year, or you might be a gold player normally, but you had an off year. Then there's always exceptions to the rule. This is kind of a guideline, a reference that I use to make my teams, and I think this should be the standard for the whole community when you're hexing teams. If not, then you shouldn't be hexing at all. And if you really think about it, 2K Sports, when they made this game, they pretty much followed the same criteria. If you look at Earl Campbell, he was a first team All Pro majority of his career. Therefore, it's why I made him a gold. You take someone like Albert Lewis, you say, well, why is he a bronze? Well, out of the 15 years he played, he probably had one or two. Off the top of my head, I believe he had one, maybe two first team All Pro seasons, and the rest of them were mediocre. So that kind of balances out. You're a bronze. So that's how they base it off of. And then the last thing, pretty much I just want to talk about is that, between Twitter and people are 1 and 2 online, the ones who are against, hexing, it seems like it always seems like the people who are very strong against hexing are the cheesers, the glitchers. I don't understand how that is. Anytime I hear someone run their mouth about hexing, I expect them to play cheese ball and do all types of glitches and stuff, and 99.9% of the time I'm right. But nevertheless, I also keep hearing people saying, well, All Pro is not meant to be used to replicate the NFL, and it's not used to be an NFL game. It's supposed to be its own game. Okay, let's go about what you say. Then explain to me why, if you go into the uniform editor, there are numbers that are specifically for certain teams. There's number fonts in there that only the Baltimore Ravens have, that only the Pittsburgh Steelers have, that only the Patriots have, and only the Denver Broncos have. And so explain to me, there's no other team, professional, college, or high school that we know of that have those numbers. So if this game is not supposed to be replicated in the NFL, then why are there numbers in there to where I can design NFL teams? Now, granted, there's always exceptions to where you may not get the sleeves right and this and that, but you do the best you can. You get the next best thing. It's pretty much up in the air from that point. But why are those numbers in the game? If this game is not supposed to be replicated in the NFL, then why are the numbers in the game? You tell me. Why are certain stripes in this game? Why stripes and socks and stuff designed? If they're not supposed to replicate the NFL, then why are in the game? More specifically, look at some of the last names in the game. I think it can be all agreed upon by guys in the community is that, there's names in the game, in the database, that no one else has in the game or that you know of in real life. Think about it. You got last names like Portis. Do you know anyone personally with the last name Portis? Like Brewski. Do you know anyone personally with the last name of Brewski? What about Vrabel? Do you know anyone personally with that last name? That in itself should tell you that was their own little way of saying, you know what? If you want to create guys that are playing the NFL, either used to be or currently, to make teams, you can do that. They gave you the option to do that. Now, granted, I wish they added more names to the database, but the game's 7 years old and they don't make any money off of it. Although I've emailed them and offered money to do this for them, they still won't do it. But regardless of that, the fact that you have those options, you can make a Mike Vrabel, you can make a Teddy Bruschi, you can make a Clinton Portis. Those names are in the game, first and last names. I can't think of any other last names right now that are dead giveaways, but who else have those last names in real life? In your people you work with or people in your family? No one. And so people who speak that nonsense, I shouldn't say nonsense, it's their opinion, but I'm here to debunk your opinion because the fact is they wouldn't have in the game if they did not want you to replicate the NFL as close as possible without them being sued. So trying to think. That's about it. It's on my mind right now. Once again, check out my website. And the website is Destro APF 2K8 rosters.webstarts.com. That is DESTRO 2K8 rosters.webstarts. That's WEBSTARTS.com. The guys here, we're trying to extend the life of this game, doing the best way we can. Why I dropped $65 in Madden? Is it licensed that more? Is that important to you? Is having NFL logos that important to you? It's not to me. When 2K Sports didn't put out any new information or a new football game at the E3 2 weeks ago, I didn't trip over it. I was kind of glad. That gave me one more year to play this and to hex this and to contribute to my website. So, it's Dark Lord Destro sign off. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, I know that somebody will. I know All Pro 777 might have something to say. So, hit me back. Talk to you later. Peace.